Hello everybody, welcome to the channel today. Kind of switched to a daytime setting here because the lighting's pretty terrible in my patio at nighttime. Some of the lights kind of just stop working for some reason, don't know why, but so I'm outside today. So let's see, today I guess I'm talking about some things at church, and so I guess kind of what's happening lately, more what's happened recently. Emily's parents came in, and so we are kind of limited on car space. We got 6 people and only 5 seats, so the last few weeks on Wednesday, they've all been going. I've been kind of staying home because can't really fit in. It's similar with Sunday. 2 weeks ago, I just took the scooter to another church somewhere, and it was kind of really close by, and that was a good experience. They went to where we normally go, which I'll be talking about where we normally go very soon here. And last week we Emily kind of let me last Sunday, Emily just let me she stepped out and just kind of let me take them to another place. And at that time we went to a whole new church, just sort of let them experience it. We did go to this church once before, and it was so that was interesting. That was good. Get a fresh feeling to these things. And I don't know if I've mentioned this in the previous video, but I mean, the last few weeks honestly have been the previous weeks. I was kind of more of a bit of a relief that I didn't have to go to and worry about that church, because in the past there's a lot of things that I've not been experiencing that have been really good experiences there. I'm talking about the church we normally go to. So a bit of history about this place. This is kind of the church, the main church we kind of settled on after moving here to Murfreesboro. There was one small church before that, which we went to for about a few months before we kind of moved over here. Emily was taking their citizenship classes there, and eventually became a citizen, and also doing their ESL stuff, going to their ESL classes there. So she's obviously had a lot of places to be plugged in there. The big problem is, for me, there's never been very much. Now there eventually, at some point, there was one group, the men's group, which I joined, which was more an older group, but the guy that leading that up has been a great help. They've obviously prayed through a bunch of things with my job and everything, and that was great. So there's that. Like I said, it's an older group. There's a bunch of people who are my age group, and I do not get along very well with them. Not saying there's any, I'm just getting into argument. There's not like there's arguments or anything, but there's literally nothing they're basically ignored. These people are incredibly cliquish. They don't it's like they don't want to associate with anybody new. And I'm finding out many of these so-called people, they're very involved in the church, and some of them probably have grown up there their entire lives, I believe. And others just have these high positions in the church, and it just like amazes me. It's like some of them not so much, I don't know, but a lot of them do. They all have these, a lot of them somehow have all these big positions in the church, and they're all doing well, but they don't care about anybody else on the outside. And that has been one of the big problems for me. Within the past year, they started doing a Bible study, like some Bible study on Wednesdays, which they don't normally do. They used to not have very much of anything for anybody, but for the most part, I have felt pretty, not that amazing. I felt okay with some groups, but I just noticed that very often I see that group and they're always just sitting together with themselves, and they don't really have anything to say to me or anyone else. I've been there for a long time now, and I'm not being acknowledged very much. I have, so I'm struggling a bit with that. Sometimes, majority of the time, I'm just sitting at their tables. Most of the time I'm sitting with the older people, which I don't know if you'd call that the nosebleed section, but maybe it is, or maybe it ain't too bad. But the much older crowd, I'm just sitting with them, and I've not really been getting much out of the studies that are happening on Wednesdays. Most of the time I'm very tired and exhausted and don't want to chit chat or read anything at that point in time. So it hasn't worked out that great. So I don't know what to say. I can say that, you know, the fact that I'm just on the outside of the people who are my own age is starting to bother me. This was never a problem at other churches. I mean, even the churches I had big problems with before, I would take over this situation right now. This is starting to feel like I'm just kind of coming here and just becoming amazed at the way they respond to others on the outside. I mean, they like to sit there and talk spiritual and everything, and talk about reaching people with the gospel. It's just like they talk, like, obviously they talk about that stuff, but they don't do it. They just acknowledge that they're not doing it, and yet there's whatever. anyway, um, so basically, kind of, so like I said, last few weeks I've not been going on Wednesday because of my in-laws. 2 weeks prior, I did go to another church on Wednesdays while everyone else was going somewhere, going to that place. It was called One Church, and that place, that I got to just kind of go in to whatever class they had going on, and I really enjoyed that. It was pretty simple, but I enjoyed it. Everybody was friendly, and it's been a long time since I felt like that, like I was feeling people were somewhat welcoming, and just kind of like so it was very good. Unfortunately, I've not been able to go back just because of our little circumstances with the in-laws right now. The last 2 weeks, let's see, it's been 1, 2, and now it's been the third week, so 3 weeks now. So it's been 3 weeks. Haven't been able to go back. So yesterday, which would be the third time, this time Emily stepped down, let me take her parents to that church on Wednesday night. I was a little bit hesitant because honestly, I was been feeling a bit relieved not having to worry about them again, but I did it this time. And they're going to ESL. They're really, the ESL people in the ESL get treated very well. I'll say that. They get, I don't know, it's a ministry that's riding on all cylinders. They get treated, they are fed with silver spoons. I know. So no doubt they liked it. For me, it's been exactly the opposite. So since I've gone there taking them, and I went to that Bible group again. This time I actually sat down with what was younger table this time, which was kind of a switch up from what I normally see, which is them all congregating together. But it looks like it's looking a bit different this time. But not as many people. And it somehow worked out for me just to sit with them. And around that time, I was just kind of not. I was probably out of it more than ever. Just tired for various reasons, but really, it's sort of interesting. It seemed like every time, so I kind of went, it's interesting, I went from not feeling good there to going to that other church feeling so much better, not being able to go anywhere, which is not as good as going to that other place, but still better than going to the place we've been going. And now we're back, and now I'm back, and honestly, It's just like a big reminder as to why it was more like just a big reminder as to why I desperately need to get out of this place. So we're in this situation where I'm not going to be going to this church, probably not going to be going to this church anymore. Emily's going to keep going because of ESL, and our kids are going to be in those groups to that church as well on Wednesdays. And it's just like, how is this work how am I supposed to feel good about this, where the kids are getting taught in a church that I'm not even planning on attending at this point. This just sounds like this feels like it's almost like the way this church is set up is just gonna kind of put a rift between our whole family, honestly. I don't know. We're not having arguments, but I mean, it just feels like she's gonna go to this place, I'm gonna go to that place. I can't take that place anymore. I mean, about the only thing that could keep me sane there is with that men's group on Sunday. And I mean, but that's about it. I don't know. Maybe we switch to something on Sunday. The Sunday will be our main church somewhere else, and then Emily gets to go to ESL on Wednesday, and I get to do something else. Maybe that's how it'll go. But yeah, I mean, the thing about that Wednesday meeting yesterday, and it's just like I'm baffled. Like, these people, it's almost like some of these people are going out of their way to not be friendly. And I don't know why. So literally, so the guy, so typically they gather prayer requests and they go around the table asking for a prayer. What prayer requests you have? So there was one guy who left early, who was sort of leading. The second guy who picked it up asked what prayer requests there were. He gave what his request was, and then some other girl came in with her request, and there were two other people. He didn't even bother asking or anything, and it's just like, it was very cut short. He didn't ask if there was anything else. I don't know, maybe it was just he didn't think there was anything else. I don't know, but it seems like a bit inconsiderate. But that's not the main thing. It's just I've not done well with these people. I don't know what it is. They don't talk to me. They don't say even a hello or anything. 90% of the time they don't say hello. And even when I'm right there, and I don't get them, how it is they treat people this way. They don't speak to me. They just do not speak to me. They have gone out of their way. These people have gone out of their way majority of the time not to speak to me. And I keep going back to this place on Wednesday, and I come out feeling worse and worse every time I do it. And I don't think this can be, I don't think I can keep doing that. I mean, I feel like we need to find something else. I'm happy Emily enjoys ESL. I'm happy her parents are enjoying ESL. But we can't base our church decision on one small group that's one small ministry that's isolated from all the other activities in the church. And I think of course, there's something to be said about the church putting so much effort into this ESL, but not a lot of effort in other groups. But I mean, that's the topic for another time. I don't think that's really faltering the church. That's just, or the institution itself. I think it's just the culture. It's been like that it's clearly been like this for years. It was like this when I was going to college at MTSU. It was like that with their college ministry. I was talking about the exact same issues with that college ministry around that time, which was and that's why some of us talked about there was some ministry on the campus called Campus Crusade for Christ or something like that, and that's why we moved over to there. Kind of and there was a much better, somewhat better environment. I mean, not perfect, never perfect, but it was better. It was just the same thing. I think their college ministry pretty much has kind of died anyway. I don't see any people walking in there. Very rarely do I see a lot of people there. I don't think it was like where it was before. Probably because of all these issues I'm talking about. Yeah, so I am probably going to be looking around for another church for sure. I don't know what I'm going to decide on. I don't know how we're going to splice this. I know the kids are comfortable where they are, but I don't know. We could just try something else. I don't know. I feel like something that would benefit us would be something that's a little more ethnically unified, or ethnically and racially unified, or in some way, because obviously my wife's Chinese. She goes to ESL and meets a lot of other people of other nationalities. She's already in that space. I don't know, maybe I should just go, we should just be going to a church like that. I don't know. Or maybe it'll just be someplace that's just a little bit better, some better ministry opportunities. This place doesn't have a lot of ministry opportunities. It's kind of, the doors are often very shut. I don't know why they have so much limited ministry options. It's almost like they have people filling in for a job. It's like is that the thing? Is they're getting paid, so they don't want other people doing the ministry. Someone's getting paid to teach the kids, so they don't want somebody else doing it. Is that what's going on? So I don't know, but sounds like there are some other the church I went to last Sunday, looks like there's a lot of other ministry opportunities there. Maybe that'd be an opportunity for me to get involved in something rather than having to fight against this group here. And I talked about, and I have talked to them about some type of autistic group, autistic ministry or something with adults, and I've not heard a peep from them. Obviously it's going through their little political red tape BS, and they don't want to want me to help in any capacity anyway, so on anything, so there's not much point. I guess there's just not much point. So I guess maybe there's somewhere else that'll be able to take that idea. This other place has some other things I can do. Someone, they mentioned a handyman ministry, maybe that'll be fun. There's also one church which that's the place I went to on Wednesday a few weeks ago, which I liked. That could be an option too. So maybe that's something we can try on Sundays instead. So we'll think about it. I have looked around, and as far as denominations go, a lot of these places, they don't really come out and tell you what their denomination is, but it's starting to look like it's Baptist. It's looking like Murfreesboro is starting to look like Baptist country, because all the churches I thought we went to, which either looked non-denominational or something else, I'm finding out are actually Baptist, and it's just like, wow, okay, so Baptist is the option. So so it might end up being a Baptist, so it might be one of those. So I guess that's the end of my rant. Kind of what's going on. Just wanted to give an update, kind of what's happening. Yeah, so thank you all for checking in. I'll talk to you all real soon. Later. Bye.